Welcome everyone to the Stratfor NewsGator webinar. My name is Walker Fenton. I'm the General Manager for NewsGator's Media and Data Services business. Today we're talking about Stratfor's newly minted iPhone application. And we're joined today by Matt Solomon, a project manager at Stratfor. Welcome, Matt.
Hi, Walker. Thanks for having me.
Matt, maybe you can start off by telling us a little bit about Stratfor.
Sure thing. Stratfor is a team of global intelligence professionals, and we provide an audience of decision makers and sophisticated news consumers in the U.S. and around the world with unique insights into political, economic, and military developments. The company uses human intelligence and other sources combined with powerful analysis based on geopolitics to produce penetrating explanations of world events. Our independent and non-ideological content enables users not only to better understand international events, but also to reduce risks and identify opportunities in every region of the globe.
That's great. Now, let's talk specifically about the app. What problem are you trying to solve?
Well, we had two problems here from the publisher's perspective and from the audience. I'll start with the publishers. And specifically us. Stratfor is not your typical news publisher. The approach we take towards global events and analysis of these events is not in the same vein as other news sources that approach stories as flashes in the pan. We use intelligence to distinguish the important from the mundane, really. And by intelligence, I mean, it's not just news. We don't just gather news. We don't quote people. We use validated sources, some open source and human intelligence. And we take this information, we analyze it, we determine what it means, and we really look at those larger forces at work behind events. We look at these events in a historical perspective, taking into account the geographic conditions that define a country and how this has played out and will play out throughout history. This is what geopolitics is. And it's this approach, our historical approach, that takes things, a 2,000-year-old mountain can affect, a war today. It is basically, it's a stretch, but it's why we could not create an unsophisticated, simple app that presents an article one day and then forgets about it the next. We had to create a premium app that was capable of hosting scores of analysis, and we had to make it easy to navigate. More so, we had to be consistent with our current pricing model. In developing the app, we knew we couldn't support it with ads. We knew we couldn't make it a one-time purchase. So we had to do recurring billing, which was a new feature that was enabled by Apple's OS 3 for iPhone. We also wanted to give people, familiarize themselves with us. So we opted for a trial month to begin, and then after that month, an in-app purchasing feature, which we're also very excited about. On the audience end, we had to make this our intelligence more convenient to them. Our audience base comes from all over the world, from many lines of work, and they all have one thing in common. They're decision makers. They live fast-paced lives that one day has them, commuting on a subway in New York City, and the next in Hong Kong on a hostile takeover of an Asian pharmaceutical company. They need our intelligence to be available to them anywhere at any time. So with the iPhone dominating the smartphone market for these unique types of people, we knew we had to give them what they wanted and needed, really. It was an idea that was met with no opposition, and we're all very pleased with it.
That's great. And maybe you could take a few minutes and step us through the different tabs of the app.
Sure. There are 5 tabs on the app. The first being the Home tab, and here's where you're going to find every lengthy piece of intelligence that we publish, separated by day. The next tab is topics. Now this really allows you to narrow down your focus. So if you want to know about energy, it's there, politics, terrorism, security, you name it. Also, I'd like to point out this tab has the situation reports folder, which is up to the minute brief summaries of things that are developing around the world. After that, we have regions. And again, this is another way to narrow your search. We've got regions everywhere from the former Soviet Union to sub-Saharan Africa. I'd like to talk about for a second, all of these folders have 25 pieces of content in them. It would take you a solid day to get through all the content we have in this app. And I really like to stress that because it's very dynamic, and we're very happy with that feature. The next tab is Critical Intel. In Critical Intel, we go through a hot list of what's going on right now. And again, this has about 25 articles per folder. I really like this. The last tab is our multimedia. We have two types of video, the agenda, which is weekly, and the video dispatch, which is daily.
Great. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about how this content is used by your audience.
Sure. Like our content online on our site, the intelligence you read on the app is used how you want to use it. Whether you're looking for investment opportunities in South American oil markets, or you want to prove a colleague wrong about recent domestic tension in Azerbaijan, this app does it all, and the intelligence is what you want it to be. We have a lot of corporate clients that use this for risk assessment. So if you need to know, on the spot, a piece of intelligence that's going to make you or help you make a multi-billion-dollar decision, it's there for you too.
And what are you doing in the app that you're not doing on the site?
There's one feature you'll find on the app that you won't on the site, and that's the Critical Intel tab I just spoke a little bit about. And as I described before, this tab is rotating content that tells you what's hot right now and what makes it hot. It's unique and follows our historical perspective. So some of the topics here contain pieces of analysis that date back years. And again, that just is a true testament to the complexity of this app. Also, it contains my personal favorite collection of analyses, the country geopolitical monographs, which dive deep into the roots of an individual nation, past, present, and future. And so hopefully you won't see that one going anywhere anytime soon.
Now, you mentioned earlier the in-app purchasing module. What if you're already a subscriber of Stratfor?
Okay, if you're already a member, you'll be asked for your login after 30 days of the trial period. Anyone that downloads the app is going to get it free for 30 days, and after that 30 days, you'll get a login page in which you enter your username and password, and the app will be free to you for the duration of your membership. If you're not a member, there's also a purchase page. We spoke earlier about in-app purchasing, and that's where that happens after the first month.
Right. And how often is the content updated?
The content is updated every time the app is loaded. With the help of NewsGator and tap links, we've been able to make this process incredibly quick, considering how dynamic and chock full of content the app is, with a multitude of tabs and folders within these tabs. We're talking hundreds of pieces of analysis and content, and we're very pleased to have this content updated at such speed.
So one of the challenges that face lots of folks who are putting together apps these days is how to market, how to differentiate yourself. How do you market this app?
We focused a lot on our own internal efforts, meaning emails. We did it through our website. We just kind of got the word out to our members, and from there it spread like wildfire. We also managed to get in the What's Hot category of the iTunes app homepage, and we stayed there for 2 weeks. We were very happy with that. The response has been really fantastic, and we've significantly exceeded our expectations. Very significantly.
That's good. And then what's the future? What's the future for the app?
Well, we've been listening very closely to our audience. We've been reading reviews, And one of the most popular things we've seen is push notifications. I can see this being a definite possibility because it coincides with our online membership so well. If you become a site member, one of the first things you'll want to do is go through and set your preferences. You get to pick and choose topics, regions, types of content you're most interested in, and I could see this being a real easy transition to the iPhone app with these push notifications. There's another thing that we've been hearing a lot is a My Stratfor folder. This would be similar to that critical intel folder, but instead of our editors, you would be picking, what you want to know about and putting it in your own place. I could see this being integrated with preferences settings like the push notifications.
And last but not least, how do people contact Stratfor for feature requests?
You can contact us by visiting we have a page dedicated to the app. You can find it linked to